Well, what's going on, Gideonstactical family? I want to welcome you to the newly built gear review studio. Thanks so much for joining me today on another gear review where we're going to be diving into the Cold Steel AD-10 Tanto Lite in just a moment. But if you've been following along on Instagram, Facebook, and our community page on YouTube, you can see over Labor Day weekend, my wife and I worked hard and put together this indoor studio where we have the ability now to put out more content for you in a more controlled environment so that I'm not waiting for airplanes to go flying over the backyard as we move back to Denver, as we're taking a little break from full timing on the road after a year of traveling America in the RV as a family. And before we dive into the AD-10 Lite Tanto, which I think has the potential to be one of the best heavy-duty folders, tactical folders that we've seen in a long time, I'm just gonna walk you through the little studio here real quick.
So nothing really to write home about, just a two-car garage that I was able to, with the help of my buddy Mike donating a few pallets, we screwed those on, got some wood from Home Depot, little accent boxes right there, just to throw some different gear items in. And as we go through the months and years to come, I'll be throwing up and changing up the gear in here so that you guys can kind of maybe be guessing what is up and coming. Maybe we'll even like visit something in another video, like, hey guys, soon we're gonna be testing this out, let me know what you think, stuff like that. So it's just gonna be, I think, just a fun way to just go to the next level here as a gear review channel, but also for you guys, the Gideonstactical family. And this is a perfect kind of intro into this AD-10 Lite Tanto, as you can see there, just totally used and abused.
And before we dive into the blade and why I will actually be carrying it more often than the original in S35 VN with G10 handles, which I have right here, I'm gonna touch on that Lite title. I'm gonna be honest, it really should be the AD-10B for budget because it's not that much lighter. The Lite, you'd think like at least an ounce, right? Because this full size, or original, whatever we wanna call it, comes in at 6.9 ounces. This version comes in at 6.4 ounces. So a 0.5 or half an ounce difference, you're barely gonna notice it. I mean, I kinda notice it if I have them both in the hand. They're both well over 6 ounces. This one basically being almost 7, this one being 6.5. So you're not gonna notice that much of a difference. It would have been great if they had milled out the liners and dropped this like at least a full ounce. If this was like 5.9, or if it was like 5.5, or even like 4.9, drop 2 ounces, that would have been excellent. And I think even offered, more carrying capability. It's not bad. It's still a super heavy duty folder. And I know a lot of you guys like that. And I gravitate more and more now that my lifestyle has changed from going to an office to, living full-time in an RV for a long time, for over a year. And now, just doing this full time. Bigger blades tend to gravitate a little bit more to me. I don't mind the weight too much, but it should have been, the AD-10B for budget, because what we have are GRN or GFN, I believe, handle scales over the G10. You're not going to really notice a difference. The texture is about the same. There's no extra grippiness from what I can tell, but it's not any slicker. It's just literally in like the density feeling. You're just like, oh, I can tell this is G10. I can tell. You can hear that? So it's just a density level, that's it. The traction is the same. You're gonna get all your lockup in the big full rounded handles, and then that super deep guard, and then the blocky jimping. That's really where you're gonna get your lockup, and that lockup is excellent as it was on the original. And then the other aspect to bring down the pricing is the AUS-10 steel. Still a great steel. I love that steel, still made in Taiwan, just like the original here. And AUS-10A is going to have about a 20% edge retention rate that's higher, so you're going to see that much more edge retention over old AUS-8. And I like AUS-10 for now in this world budget steel. It's excellent. I have zero complaints with that. And then you're just going to be getting that beef, nice and thick, huge blocky blade, or excuse me, a pocket clip, ambidextrous triad locking mechanism, and then a 3.5-inch blade, just like on the original. Now, when I did the original review, my main complaint with the design because it blasted through everything. I even got swamped in the ocean and got sand all in the pivot. I literally washed it out with some water, let it sit overnight, and it was just as smooth as it is now, which is wild. I was expecting to have to gut the entire thing and spend hours trying to, clean it all out and maybe never have it the way it was before. So just pure durability is excellent. But I complained about the thickness behind the edge. It's 0.15 on the blade thickness. It was just kind of fat behind the edge and didn't slice like I would have preferred. So I just wouldn't carry it that often. It was great, for like outdoor work, wood carving, just brutality, but not really, in slicing capability. And so I was like, man, and when I made that statement, a lot of you told me, hey, we have the like original drop that they did, and that had a hollow grind, slices way better. And so I had stated, man, it would be great if there was a Tanto version for, tactical and heavy duty use. And then if there was just a thinness behind the edge or, thinner blade, something, well, guess what? Now we got that. We got the Tanto blade with a saber tip, which is super robust, and then a hollow grind. Yep, we got a hollow grind on this Tanto version, and it slices, and it is noticeably better at slicing than its original saber ground brethren. So I am super pumped with the way that they ground that in, but still giving you that tip of being a saber. I was stabbing into this, prying with it. It is tough as nails, and then that hollow slices and carves much better. You'll just notice it when you're doing the type of work, regardless if, like what I did, I took it on a backpacking trip, feather stick making, and finer carving, and then paracord, and all that stuff. But then also being able to just still baton with it and just keeps on ticking, which is just wild. You shouldn't be doing that with your blades, but did that, and this thing opens and closes and locks, and even the edge, no rolling on the edge, super nice and sharp still. Very pleased with the profile, and now I will absolutely carry this more frequently just because of that hollow grind. And then that tip, even though I'm not a huge Tanto guy, I will absolutely be using this quite a bit, not only in the outdoors, but just as a hard use EDC. Blade still has a 90-degree spine. So this could eliminate the need for a lot of like 3.5-inch fixed blades that you might carry on you. I would argue this is, for anything you're gonna put a 3.5-inch through, this is probably just about as robust as, and be able to handle just about anything that you would do with that. Ambidextrous, great thumb studs, good deployment, nice and smooth and snappy right out of the box. Still getting used to this lighting here. May have to adjust some lighting here in the next video. So still work in progress, guys. Appreciate you just man, you guys, the Gideonstactical family, are just so awesome. So yeah, let us know in the comments, because I could not find any details if the drop point light now has a hollow. If you own one, let us know if it has a saber or a hollow, if you have the light version in the drop point, and what the grind is on that. But for this Tanto, and if you're looking for a sub $100, as that's what I paid for it, I paid like $89, $90 over on the Blade HQ website. I'll have links for you guys below. Appreciate it if this design or other blades or just gear in general makes sense for you when you use the hyperlinks. Helps me buy gear just like this, continue to do what I do. But guys, sub $100, hard use, law enforcement, military, you just like Tantos. This thing rocks, honestly, and is one of the best now executed sub $100 hard use, heavy duty folders I've seen in a long time. So Cold Steel has absolutely executed this model extremely well, but I look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts. What is your take on the AD-10 Lite series in general, particularly this Tanto? And we'll all be looking at those comments for those of you who own the drop point version, whether or not it's a hollow now or not. So appreciate you guys so much. Give me ideas too about the background, if there's things that you think I should do, different gear you want to see back there, just different ideas. I love the community that we have here. It's so awesome. You guys are such a major blessing. Check out the other video popping up. Subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. I'll see you out there.